Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. General Bagwash, 1st of May, May Day, May Day. I think this is one of their days. The satanic weirdos for some reason. I've got an inkling. I'm remembering something, but I can't quite remember what. Well, I think May Day is one of theirs. So there could be something. There could be something today to do with the agenda, the big plan, the New World Order, World War Three, fucking economic doom here. There's something coming. Well, there's a lot coming, to be honest. Yeah, May Day. I'm sure this is one of their fucking days. Right. Let's get off to a roaring start here. Why not? Israel plans the largest LGBTQ event on the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. Dun dun dun. Of course they do. Of course they do. So yeah, why not? Why not? Let's bring the house down in style again. Why not? So yeah, there it is in black and white. Israel plans the largest LGBTQ event on the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. So more proof right there that the Israel of today is not the Israel of the Bible. Yep, absolute proof right there. Absolute proof right there. Yeah, so I mean, again, we've kind of been brainwashed into this over quite a few decades now, but it was illegal to be gay in England up until 1972. We're just being brainwashed into all this stuff and LBGTQ and transvestites and fucking non-binary and all this bullshit. But even on the very first level of just homosexuality, Sodom and Gomorrah, Sodom and Gomorrah mentioned this. Like again, it's not a popular opinion, to be honest, but this is the reality of the Bible and the story, and that homosexuality is not part of God. It's not part of the Bible, and Sodom and Gomorrah and the depravity, the sexual depravity that had ensued to result in the Sodom and Gomorrah tale. Well, it kind of speaks for itself. Do you know what I mean? It proves that again the church shouldn't be for LGBTQ. The church shouldn't be for homosexuality according to the Bible and according to God. And again, this is why, like, the Church of England got sold down the river long ago. Now there's a woman in charge who's all for homosexuality and LGBTQ and abortion, right? And abortion. So ultimate proof that the fucking churches are gone here, you know what I mean? The churches are gone. And they're just being palatable to, like, society, but that's not the way of things here. We're not appeasing people. This is the tale, right? So anyhow, massively speaks for itself for me. Again, sign of the times. Many things in this one headline here. So many things are said. You know what I mean? Play a bit of this.
Share the video with your friends. And of course, if you wish to support this channel, which I thank you for very much,
The Last Day's Watchman is the name of the channel. As you can see at the bottom there, nearly 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, The Last Day's Watchman. Again, yeah, it could be bang on. It could be absolutely bang on here. Hold on.
there is a link beneath the video. Israel is preparing to host what is being promoted as the Middle East's largest LGBTQ plus celebration, known as Pride Land. It's set to take place at the Dead Sea in June 2026, and for many who hold a biblical worldview, events like this feel like more than just headlines. They appear as stark reminders of Scripture unfolding in real time right before our eyes. This situation raises difficult questions, especially considering the deep biblical history tied to both the land and the Jewish people involved. If you reflect for just a moment on the significance of the Jewish people, they were entrusted with the oracles of God, and they are now associated with an event that, according to a traditional interpretation of Scripture, stands in direct opposition to those teachings.
Yep. Whether you like it or not, you're all gonna burn. You know what I mean? You're all gonna burn.
Support for Israel has long been a cornerstone for many of us believers, including prayer for the peace of Jerusalem. Yet, for some, that support does not mean silence. It certainly doesn't mean we give Israel a blank check to do as they please. God in the Old Testament always warned Israel and accused Israel of being a stiff-necked and rebellious people. And it seems that they are just that today. But God's promise to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob holds true. And as I've said before in a recent video, God is drawing Israel and the nations into a trap where he will not only judge Israel for her sin.
No, this has already happened, but yeah, it will again. But this Israel isn't the Israel of the Bible. Again, this is what we're saying in the Satan's little season here. In the iron and the miry clay is the Roman Empire, and Israel. It's the Roman Empire in Israel was destroyed in 78 to 76 A.D. Is the tale of the Satan's little season. Yet again, this has already happened. This isn't the Israel of the Bible, but they are faking tribulation. For me, anyway, that they're faking it, and Israel will be probably judged again because that's part of the tribulation and part of the Bible, and they're faking it, and so is the war, World War III, which in the original time was the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's. I mean, we'll find out. Again, this is kind of the question in a way. Are we post tribulation or pre tribulation? I'm going with post Satan's little season, but there's still the option. I think they're faking all this, but I could be wrong, and this could be tribulation. But I honestly think we're faking it. So, yeah, but this is all part of the show. You know what I mean? Like again, anybody, as he said there, anybody who knows the Bible and knows the crack. Well, then this right away, this headline alone is fucking massive, isn't it? Israel plans the largest LBGTQ event on the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's right there, you know what I mean? Speaks for itself. So, unbelievable, really.
But his plan is to judge Israel and the nations. And this is what we see happening today. What we see happening today is the whole.
Yeah. So, I disagree. I think, again, how can all these people be wrong if they're all right? You know what I mean? And everybody thinks that they were pre-tribulation here, so you've all got to be wrong. Unfortunately, it's kind of how it works. You can't all be right if you're all wrong. So, yeah, for me, all this has already happened. We've been completely deceived about all of history. And yeah, this Satan's season again. I mention all the time. Go and watch all these people covering Satan's little season because it takes a bit of wrapping your head around and getting back through history. And yeah, it's a fucking magnificent tale, to be honest. The greatest tale ever told, in fact. So, well, I'll leave it there. But yeah, again, I think this guy's still being deceived. You know what I mean? He hasn't quite got that final deception out of the way. The whole we're a bit further down the road here than everyone thinks. So we'll find out. Anyhow, it's the beauty of the game here, and we will find out in the non too distant future. To be honest, next 10 years, probably less. Right. So that's the big Mayday headline here. The LBGTQ festival on the site of Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm sure it'll go well. I'm sure it will go well. Moving on. So moving on. Did the ITV news, mainstream bullshit, obviously. What do we know about the Golders Green attack suspect?
As he arrived in Golders.
Starmer got booed to shit as he got there, and rightly so. You know what I mean? this man shouldn't be Prime Minister at this point, but he is clinging on. Honestly, I really do believe he's clinging on till summer there, and we get an escalation in events that ultimately escalates to a point we can't actually get rid of this man due to emergency powers. UK terrorism threat level raised to severe follow. I mean, we know, or we fucking live here, and we could have told you this was going to fucking happen, you know what I mean? We could have told you this was going to happen. Right, so fuck me. Should have been on severe anyway, you know what I mean? You've imported hundreds of thousands of fucking fighting age male foreign men from countries we fucking don't know and have blown up in the past, Afghanistan being one of them. You've imported hundreds of thousands of them into the country here. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, I'll go out on a limb here, and this is going to happen again before the year's out. You know what I mean? And I could have told you that at the start of the year, right? So the intelligence services, the intelligence, we've raised the level to severe now after an important fucking 300,000 foreign fighting men. All right. Well done, lads. I mean, did you not watch the news for the last fucking 2 years there? No. Fucking idiots.
Green this afternoon, the Prime Minister became the prime target for the anger of this community as he met first responders.
It's the anger of the entire fucking country, and yeah, he goes and meets people who have to be respectful, really. Away from the crowds, doesn't get anywhere near the crowds. It's like Southport all over again. He turned up to Southport there, and basically everybody told him. I mean, and how long ago was Southport, and look what's happened since. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody hates this man. I swear to God, everybody hates him, and there's no way he should be Prime Minister. But the fact that he still is, it's a big sign to me. It's a big sign that this man's still in power, that he is the man to fucking bring us through the bagwash here, and that's who they've decided is going to do it. And he doesn't work for us, because if he did work for us, there's no fucking way he would still be Prime Minister.
Involved in yesterday's attack, the crowd could barely see Keir Starmer through the gates of the ambulance station. But he could hear their
yeah, of course, done on purpose.
Protest.
Keir Starmer seems extremely reluctant, and the other ministers as well, to address the problem.
He runs behind a gate. I wish we had gates to protect us, but it seems that we're fair target and he's not doing anything to protect us.
After a tightly controlled visit, the Prime Minister left for Downing Street to promise more policing for Jewish communities and tougher laws on those
Fuck off. Did he not say that last time? I mean, honestly, like, yeah, the public, the general public, right? Well, not only are you all fucked in the near future, you're fucking stupid. Like, honest to God, you're so fucking stupid. I mean, the country's in fucking ruin here. Like, ruin, rapes, stabbings, fucking murders. There's fucking, the money's fucking worthless. We're all fucking drowning in poverty, with fucking conscription being mentioned in the near fucking future here. I mean, and everyone's just fucking cracking on like everything's alright here. You know what I mean? It's not alright. It's really not alright.
Targeting them, as well as issuing a plea to the public.
This government will do everything in our power to stamp this hatred out. We will
see, already, like, fucking lies, mate. Well, stop bringing in a load of fucking Muslims, right, on fucking boats, hundreds of thousands of fucking week, who don't particularly like the Jews. And you'd probably keep a lot of this down. Don't get me wrong, still a lot of foreigners here, as we've mentioned here, because you've brought all them in as well. Yeah, stop bringing all the foreigners to the country that oppose the Jewish community. And this might go a bit better, Keir, you know what I mean? But no. I mean, they just lie to you, you know what I mean? Like, this is the plan to bring in all these foreign people, order out of chaos. And we haven't even got to the chaos yet. This is not the chaos. Well, yeah, this has been done to us on purpose. Everybody fucking knows it at this point, because you've got to be fucking stupid not to know it. We bring them in on fucking boats and put them in hotels and give them iPhones. And we're seeing Lado over there throwing all his fucking money all over the floor. I mean, every incentive to fucking come here. You know what I mean? I mean, and the English Channel, it's about fucking 30 meters deep the entire fucking way. It's not like the fucking Atlantic Ocean here. You know what I mean? Nowhere near. And on a calm day like today, yeah, not a problem getting across that fucking. Not a problem there. I mean, go and watch the film Dunkirk with the fairly newish, but maybe 10 year, maybe not that. And go on the sail across the channel on the film there. It's a fucking lovely day. There is no wave to be seen. I could probably swim the fucker if I had the stamina. So it's not even a hard fucking bit of ocean to cross. And they only have to get halfway, and we fucking pick them up. So it's a fucking honestly like how the British public have like if it's despairing in many ways. How you're stuck in the bagwash, stuck in the bagwash with you, and you can't do fuck all about it because everybody's stupid. You know what I mean?
Strengthen our security and protect our Jewish community.
Robot.
But I also call on everyone decent in this country to open their eyes to Jewish pain.
Are you fucking having a laugh here? Yeah, open your eyes to this cunt and his global cabal and their new world order, World War III, fucking economic collapse. Like, wake your eyes to fucking all that shite before we're all fucked here, you know what I mean? And you've got about 2 months, you've got about 2 to 3 months before we're all fucked here. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, the British people are stupid, and it's not just the British people either. Like the Europeans are stupid, the fucking South Americans are stupid, the Americans are fucking stupid. So the average person's fucking stupid. Like that's the bottom line here. They're fucking stupid. It's 2026. You know what I mean? You've got to have clicked on in 2026. Things are not okay. You know what I mean? They're not okay. They're really not. On so many levels, they're just not okay. Right, fuck this guy. He's a fucking asshole. He's a lying bastard. He works for the global elites, and yeah, he's just gonna like, oh well, we'll do our best to protect the Jews. 4 Jews stabbed next week. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll do our best to protect the Jews. Fuck off. Trump signed it. Wells Fargo Smart Dust swarms you for biometrics or lose your bank account, right? We mentioned this the other day there on Dabu. Yeah, again, absolutely what it says on the tin here. We mentioned it with Dabu, fucking Smart Dust, biometrics, fucking car, you fucking just lock you down in every way, shape or form. No, everything you do at all times, everywhere you go. Complete control. That's what it's all about. It's not about money, it's about control.
Small, tiny airborne particles will swarm around you to read your biometric data in order to authenticate that payment. People are going to say this is a conspiracy theory, but here's the United States patent filed by Wells Fargo in 2022, and this invention is called Smart Dust. Here's the summary from the filed patent. You can read this for yourself, but Smart Dust is a system of small micro-electromechanical systems devices that can have sensors that collect data and transfer it to a base station device. These devices are small enough that they can be suspended in the air, and they can do facial recognition, get your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your eyes. They take that information, go back to the user profile, make sure it's you, and then they authenticate the payment. And less than a week ago, Trump signed an executive order that will require Americans to release their biometric data or lose their bank accounts. Of course, they will tell you that this is all for your security. Smart Dust was originally a military concept. Now it's going to be used as your wallet. What could go wrong? Well, this technology is insane because sure, it can be used to authenticate your payment, but it could also be used to surveil every single person in the world without them even knowing. I know Trump said no to central bank digital currencies, but don't you think that Smart Dust is worse?
Now, I reported on this when it happened. I think it was in the middle of another video, but I wanted to get back to it because there's a lot going on, and this ties into the end times. And what I have been telling you about the mark of the beast, it all ties together. Look at this. It says, this gives the US government facial biometric ID of every single person with a bank account. So they can track your every movement, everywhere you go, everyone you meet, going straight to Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, and who knows who else.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is what all the data centers are for. You know what I mean? It's not fucking rocket science here, to be honest. Put two and two together, connect some dots here. Why do we need data centers? What data? Well, here's all your data. You know what I mean? Pretty fucking obvious, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, again, mentions the end times there, but yeah, she's not a Satan's little seasonist. This woman, I've figured out watching other videos. Yeah, well, I'm talking the actual end times and this mark of the beast thing. They're kind of faking it again. In it is the beast system, but it's not the official beast system of the Bible. But it's the fakery of it for me. Again, they have to fake tribulation here. So you're getting all the signs and the wonders of tribulation, the faking of it, the war, the fucking economic collapse. A loaf of bread will cost a day's wage is in the Bible there. So yeah, for me, they're definitely faking all this, but I could be wrong. I mean, who said I was right? You know what I mean? So anyhow, yeah, but fucking we mentioned all this smart dust, fucking lockdown, control, everything you fucking do, no go, fucking everything controlled, and you step out of line in any way, shape, or form by even thinking the wrong thing. Well, Room 101 there, you know what I mean? George Orwell's 1984. Go and read it, and there's your future. Room 101, you'll be sent for re-education. So, yeah, smart dust. Again, we've kind of mentioned it, but just more control, more surveillance, more, you name it, been patented in 2002. Again, the level of technology that we've got versus what the public think we've got. Whoa, the world apart. Moving on. Japan Airlines to replace workers with humanoid robots. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Yes, you would. So again, job decimation from robots and AI. They don't need this many peasants anymore. This is why there's a depopulation agenda on the go. They do not need this many peasants. AI and robots will replace us. You don't need to feed the robots.
Flying to Tokyo anytime soon, there's a chance your luggage could be handled by a humanoid robot. That's because Japan Airlines is trialling the technology to handle rising visitor numbers and a drop in people available to work. Our Asia correspondent Stash Butler reports.
Greeting a new colleague is often a little awkward. But this welcome is stranger than most. Chinese-made robots like this one are being trialled by Japan Airlines as baggage handlers at Haneda Airport. Though by the looks of things, they may still need support. The company says the 2-year trial is a response to labour shortages caused by Japan's shrinking population. The airline is also facing record tourist numbers, putting staff under strain. Like elsewhere, the stated aim is to lighten workers' load.
We wouldn't expect a one-to-one person replacement for everything a baggage handler does, but certain tasks can certainly be done.
The experiment comes during a global push to deploy the technology, which is being led by the US and China. Beijing recently included so-called embodied AI in its 5-year economic plan. And figures suggest the top 4 companies selling the robots last year were all Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe not quite there yet, but obviously an improvement in technology, it will get there, it definitely will. I mean, we mentioned this the other day as well, it's like iRobot. Again, you roll out all these robots and they're all friendly at first, and then by the flick of a switch, nope, you're not going out this evening, curfew, the robot will punch you repeatedly in the face with its metal hand till you do as you're told. So, yeah, again, iRobot coming to fruition here, the Terminator, the Matrix, all these films. We crack on like we never seen them. So, yeah, but replacing jobs, the AI, again, the decimation of the job market, putting you onto benefits, which ultimately means they can control you because they are the paymasters. All very much part of the plan. And again, this is why depopulation is very much part of the plan, because they don't need us. They don't need us anymore. The job market will be ultimately taken over by these robots and AI in the near future. As far as the robots go, it's not quite there yet, as we can see. You know what I mean? But again, it's an obvious conclusion that technology will get better, and that the robots will get better as that they have in our lifetimes. You might think a computer was the size of a fucking house originally. Now you've got one you can hold in your hand. It's more powerful than apparently what we went to the moon with, when we never went to the moon and faked it there with Stanley Kubrick. But had we went, the tale is your iPhone now is more powerful than the rocket that we faked the moon landing with. So, robots, AI, fucking General Doom, yet again here, bagwash of all kinds, be it economic, be it military, be it fucking computers. It is bagwash. Moving on, was the first human clone born decades ago. So, this is all about cloning. It's on for 26 minutes. Control Alt History, mentioned the channel before. Good channel. I'll play a lot of it, but there's cloning being talked about here in the 60s and the 70s, and we've definitely cloned human beings at this point. I'll tell you now, we have definitely cloned human beings. I mean, there's mention of cloning one in here, to be honest. We'll play a lot of it, and hold on.
Okay, this will be a video about human cloning, which is one of my absolute favorite topics, and the most interesting thing to me is the whole history behind human cloning and how it's been talked about for such a long time. If you look like 50 plus years ago, there were just a ton of articles and debates about human cloning all the way back then, because even back in like the 1970s, there were some people saying that human cloning was possible all the way back then. So this idea of like creating a human clone, it might seem super futuristic or something that's like a long ways off to some people, but that's really not the case at all. And the whole issue of human cloning first gained widespread attention in 1971 when James Watson wrote an article about human cloning for the Atlantic magazine. And James Watson, he was no joke. He discovered the DNA molecule and he won the Nobel Prize, and he was considered one of the world's biggest experts in this area. And his article was titled Moving Toward the Clonal Man, and he talked of how animals were starting to be cloned in labs. And it was only a matter of time, only a matter of short time, before humans could be cloned as well. And he basically rang the alarm bell in this article and said that human cloning would just have this massive impact on society. He talked about how entire races or groups of people might be eliminated and just wild stuff like that. And this article really did just cause a sensation. If you look at the years that followed it, there were just so many news articles and coverage of human cloning, just tons of articles. And most of these articles talked about how human cloning was pretty much going to be possible very soon. If it hadn't yet been accomplished, human cloning, if it isn't here yet, it will be, says that headline from the early 1970s. Human cloning possible if not yet accomplished. Is cloning right around the corner? This article, Carbon Copy Man, said that human cloning would be, quote, the most drastic biological change in all of humankind's recorded history. All these articles are from the early 1970s, 50 plus years ago, and there are many, many more just like them. And the stuff that's talked about throughout these articles, it's just wild. This article, Duplicating People May Become a Fact of Life, it's from all the way back in 1971. And it talks about how human cloning could actually program the human race into extinction. And multiple articles talked of how we might even reach a point where every person on Earth would have a clone double that's stored away in like a warehouse somewhere. And then they could use this clone for spare parts if they ever needed like a lung transplant or a blood transfusion. There was just a ton of talk about cloning important historical figures, famous athletes and entertainers. That's always mentioned throughout these articles. And there was even speculation that individuals cloned from the same person would be able to communicate telepathically. And so there was one article talking how countries would start building entire spy networks of cloned people who would communicate telepathically with each other. I mean, there's just so much, just really wild, very interesting stuff like that. And there were all these renowned doctors and scientists who came forward and said that human cloning was very, very close to happening. This Dr. Kurt Hirschhorn in 1974 said not only is cloning a human possible, but probable. It will take place much sooner than people realize. This geneticist, Dr. Kimball Atwood, said with a crash program, cloning a human being could be done now. And then the Nobel Prize winning geneticist, Dr. Joshua Lederberg, said there is nothing to suggest any particular difficulty accomplishing cloning in mammals or man. And there was even a Rothschild who chimed in about human cloning. So Victor Rothschild, he's also known as Nathaniel Rothschild. He was like the head honcho of the Rothschild family for a long time. He's actually Jacob Rothschild's father. So most people probably recognize Jacob Rothschild. He's talked about a lot. And anyway, this Nathaniel Rothschild, who was his father, he was a scientist for a long time, an Oxford-educated scientist. And then he got involved in the family finances and business, and he kind of transitioned into that. But he used to be a scientist and a geneticist. And in 1967, this Nathaniel Rothschild said that he regarded human cloning as a, quote, near possibility.
So, the Rothschilds, yet again, getting a mention. Because they've got their hand in the world, you know what I mean? The ruling of the world, of the banks. Yeah, very much a prominent family. And again, we watched that Labour Party fucking broadcasting, and it mentioned, like, the Rothschilds run the world. Yeah, like, they kind of do. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not really a conspiracy theory. They kind of do. Like, they set up all the banking system. Like, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are probably one of the two main families behind sort of building the world in modern times. And what we know of the very big hands in it for like 200 years or so. So, yeah, I mean, you hear the name all the time, but, I mean, it used to be a very famous saying, who do you think you are, a Rothschild, when people thought they were, like, well-to-do or rich. And it's not a saying that we say anymore, because the Rothschilds aren't really prominent today. They took themselves out of the limelight, is the way I look at it. Because everybody knew they were 100 years ago, and they were one of the richest, or they are the richest family on the planet by a while. You know what I mean? So the fact that when you talk about the richest people, you come out with like Bill Gates and Elon Musk, and they're nowhere near the Rothschilds. They're absolutely nowhere near. So yeah, they got their hand in a lot, and he goes on to I mean, I won't play anymore. Come and watch the video. But a very interesting story here of somebody did actually clone somebody, and it was deemed to be fake in the end because he wouldn't give up the information of who was cloned and where they were, and there was a rich benefactor who paid for it all, and it was his son or daughter, in effect, the clone. And the guy who done it all and wrote about it wouldn't tell the people who the person was because of what might happen, and ultimately it was deemed it never happened because he wouldn't tell the truth about who it was. But for me, he was protecting the identity of the clone and the person who paid for it for him to do all the work and etc. So I mean, interesting story. Come over to Alt Control Alt History here and watch the rest of the video if you're interested. Human cloning, again mentioned in the 70s there, 69 I think the very first time it was mentioned, and then massively mentioned in the 70s and the early 70s. So by 2026, there's there's a mention here of actually doing it in the 80s, I think, or the 90s there. I think the 80s. So there's absolutely no way on earth that this hasn't been done, you know what I mean? We have human clones. I mean, whether some of these celebrities are cloned is kind of one of the cracks as well. It's like, I mean, it's just, it's madness in many ways. So you don't really, I mean, it's also irrelevant. So there's no point really getting involved in it, to be honest. But probably possible. You know what I mean? Probably possible. Like, there is a lot of weirdness with the whole crack. Yeah, I've looked into it, and there is good evidence that some of the tattoos go missing off people. Like, people have tattoos and then they don't. It's a bit weird. I can't remember his name now. It was a black guy. His tattoo vanished. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that happens, but the chances are it probably could, is where we are, because if they're talking about cloning in the 70s, then there's absolutely no way they haven't done this by 2026. Absolutely no way. So, and even then, the next story is actually doing it, you know what I mean? In the 70s there, I think. In the 70s. So, yeah, come and watch a video anyhow. Controlled All History, very interesting. Moving on. Just mention this, something I learned yesterday I didn't know. Avicii, Hell for Violent Sinners. So Avicii, the artist, as I was conversating with somebody yesterday, he added another I on the end, Avicii, but Avicii, the DJ producer who mysteriously died, apparently killed himself. But what we've seen, again, some of his music videos there. But then I figured this out yesterday, so his name was Avicii, which is Hell for Violent Sinners. And there's levels of hell, and Avicii is the bottom level of hell for violent sinners. Now, Avicii's very first famous song that he released was called Levels. That was literally his debut single, which absolutely propelled him into the stratosphere. That song, it's called Levels. So Avicii Levels, even his first song was kind of telling you the crack. Avicii, the levels of hell. Avicii is the bottom level of hell, and Avicii's first song was called Levels. And then all his other songs, obviously, Wake Me Up, Brother, Hey Brother. The one we watched there with the child sex trafficking in the video. Apparently, Avicii was about to go into documentary making, and I think he was going to start to expose the global elites here and the child trafficking sex network. So it looks like he was murdered, to be honest. Again, put down as a suicide, but it doesn't match the background of everything that was going on in his life, to be honest. Apparently, he was the happiest he'd ever been. But he was exposing slyly, again, to those who have the eyes to see, he was exposing the global elites and was maybe going to go a step further into documentaries, was the rumour. So Avicii means the bottom level of hell for violent sinners. It's on for 5 minutes. I'll play a minute or two of it. Scary Talk is the name of the channel.
The hells of Buddhism. Just as any other versions of hell as found throughout the world, they are truly terrifying. From the cold to the hot, the hells in Mahayana.
Hold on, I think we've lost the quality here. It's a good little video of hells here. This could be what the LGBT community could be facing there.
Buddhism are a place to behold, and also a place of nightmares. This series covers these hells, and today is the last episode of the series. Saving the worst hell for last, today's episode will cover Avicii. The last hot hell of Buddhism is Avicii. It is known as the uninterrupted Naraka, and is home to those who have committed violent and grave sins against one's family and/or enlightened beings.
Hold on. Go back slightly here. Fuck me. Into the abyss. No, we don't want the abyss. We want here. So, Avicii, the uninterrupted Naraka. I think he said Buddhism there at the start. Bottom level of hell, violent and grave sins against family and/or enlightened beings. So there we go. Avicii, the bottom level of hell in Buddhism. I'll play a bit more. The video's quite dramatic.
Enlightened beings. Avicii is at the bottom of all of the hells and is the hottest. To To even enter this hell, the souls are cast by demons into the hole that leads there. It is a 2,000-year fall through utter darkness and through a deep and dark, ominous void. Eventually, the souls splash into a fiery sea of magma. Here, they will burn and be tormented among its scorching flames, and they will cry out in horror and pain. Flaming magma covers throughout this vast area, and countless souls burn collectively as fodder for the great flames. The heat is the most intense of any part of the Narakas. As the souls burn in terror, great black ravens will often swoop down and lift random souls high into the air, and then proceed to drop them back into the lava. Some of these winged demons will take the souls to their mountain caves to feast upon them. Many souls attempt to escape this peril by climbing the iron mountains there. However, they are scalding hot from all of the flames, and souls often get impaled on the spikes, just to then be eaten by the giant crows.
Right, so, the darkness. Right, Avicii, bottom level of hell. Sounded real bad there, to be honest. So, I mean, we don't want to go there, right? Yeah, I just thought I'd give it a mention, something I didn't know. But, and it was quite a dramatic video as well there of hell. And we don't really want any of that. So, violent sinners. So, all these migrants who were raping and murdering people there, and all the Muslims who were stabbing people, and etc. You're all going here. You're all going here. The LBGT community will not be going here. I've rethought that due to it's for violent sinners and people who, well, I mean, you've maybe went against your family there, being an LBGT. Maybe your parents are traditional. Maybe you've sinned the family in that way. You could be going here. Yeah, it's the option's possibly open there. So yeah, violent sinners, and again, if you do sin against the family there, this is your destination. Keep it in mind. Moving on. Murad Morelli. Well, Epstein, Zorro, ranch freak off horror, multiple men lined up and used in new report. So violent again. Epstein and the boys and girls will all be going to fucking Avicii there. Not a problem. So, let's have a listen to this.
For the first time to discuss what happened in New Mexico at the ranch of Epstein, a secretive New Mexico ranch. And these men are claiming that not only is Epstein a super predator, but that they went through horrific things and nobody knew at the time. Multiple young men are coming forward to explain that they were drugged and R-worded at Epstein's remote New Mexico ranch, and it has been claimed as local authorities continue to investigate what the hell was going on at his ranches. Democrat Congressman for New Mexico, Melanie Stanbury, fighting for justice for survivors, says that one alleged victim claimed he had been invited to a party where he said he was actually plied with substances and then essayed and R-worded. So it looks like Epstein was having his own...
Yeah, I mean, that's a common thing even with the girls and even with the children, and they drug them. I mean, there was even Britney Spears mentioned there the other day of Epstein having a picture of somebody who looked a lot like Britney. Looking drugged and dazed, yeah, they drug them again, so that memory loss and you don't remember what's happened and all sorts is going on. To be honest, I mean, I think even Bill Gates was caught in an email there asking for sort of stuff to drug people with for his party, if I remember rightly. So yeah, that's one side of it as well. All these victims, a lot of the time they're drugged and they don't quite recall what's happened to them because they've been drugged, like date rape, you know what I mean? But on a much higher level and probably with better drugs, because these people have got access to fucking all the drugs in the world. So it's basically date rape, you know what I mean? And you hear that in general life, like in people watch the drinks when they go out there, you know what I mean? This is a high profile paedophile network. Like they've got drugs and fucking tactics come out the ass here, not a problem. So yeah, they drug the victims so they don't remember what the fuck happened very well.
Level of party freak-offs at the 7,500-acre Zorro Ranch. Stanbury says the unnamed man described multiple young men that were here, and they were all R-worded at the ranch in front of him after he was given substances. So some type of ritual was going on, some type of game that Epstein clearly was having, where he would give one of the men a substance to make them delirious, dizzy, not controllable of their actions, confused about what was going on around him. And then what he saw was multiple young men lined up, basically, and R-worded at this ranch. This is a horrific story that has come out for the first time. And I'm just wondering, what kind of ritual is this that he would call people into the ranch? And everybody at the party possibly knew this, or knew that this was going to...
Well, this is their fucking dark, weird parties that they have, you know what I mean? Satanic sex cult, fucking depraved, weirdo, fucking... This is the crack, you know what I mean? This is absolutely the crack. What's this here? Sex slave, Osmond Gold. Everybody is talking about her. Well, we'll have to move over if it's going viral here. Bear with us. So, if you want to come over to Murad Morelli and listen to more of the Epstein depravity here and fucking Zorro Ranch, and I mean it's all along the same lines of satanic sex, rape, children, women, even men, fucking depravity. It's I mean there's quite a lot of evidence for that, you know what I mean? We'll move over anyhow. This Osmond Gold clip, see what's going on.
JP Morgan case? What's the situation with this? Glamorous JP Morgan executive accused of turning married male broker into her office sex slave, Viagra spiking and a litany of obscene forced acts that made him cry. 37 years old, used racial slurs calling him her little brown boy. Boy, and made derogatory remarks about his wife, threatened to destroy his career by saying, "I fucking own you," forced non-consensual oral sex while he cried, and mocked him during the act. Bro, what the fuck is this? I bet your little Asian wife doesn't have these cannons. What? Who is this woman? What is this? Get her a job at Blizzard right away. Can you imagine how many applications to be her assistant she's getting right now? And I don't want to downplay this. By the way, sexual assault, sexual harassment, it's bad. That being said, wow, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, just more proof of these people's like sexual depravity. You know what I mean? It's kind of part of the club. Like you have to be like a sexually depraved fucking weirdo to be in this club. That's kind of the hold that they have on you, the blackmail. That's how you get you to do as you're told, because you do depraved things. They film it and blackmail you, but a lot of people get lost in it and love it, you know what I mean? That some people are forced to do it and play a ball, but a lot of them, and most of them, if not the majority, they like it all. They like the depravity. Again, this woman here and fucking using her power, and this is the game and this is the people, you know what I mean? And again, there's females involved massively. Again, we've had, Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk's one female involved right there. So, we also had Thing mentioned with Epstein, Naomi Campbell. Like, there's definitely women involved here. Loads of women involved. Angela Merkel, all these people who've run countries, they're all in this crack. They're all of them, because this is how you get people to do as they're told. So, there's fucking videos all over the world, not for our release. We can't watch them, but all over the world, videos exist of all the most powerful people in the world doing very, very depraved sexual things to each other, to children, to women, to men. And it's all been filmed because it's all blackmail material for these people to do as they're told when they're in positions of power. And them videos, they're not available to the public, obviously, but they exist. And should any of these people ever step out of line, then these videos get used against them, and they get outed as a paedophile and sent to prison, and you know what I mean. So yeah, again, just but more proof of the sexual depravity. You know what I mean. Moving on. Banksy confirms he's behind new statue here of looks like a politician with the flag, and the flag's in his face. We're on Richard IV channel here. We'll have a listen to this.
That left-wing renegade speaking truth to power, yeah. Well, apparently he's got a new piece, as we can see on the screen here. Pardon me. And it's of what looks like a politician, a suited man, in Waterloo Place in the middle of London, with a flag blocking his face. Can you get the double meanings there? I don't know if you can. Maybe it's something like nationalism blinds you from the realities of the world, blinds our leaders. Because Banksy, what is he, Gen X hero, can see reality like you can't. Anyway, Banksy's always wound me up. Because he's treated as, this renegade artist. I remember when he used to live in London, I walked by his store on, it's just off Portobello Road, and in Notting Hill, and it's called the Unofficial Banksy Store. I remember thinking, yeah, right, unofficial. It's clearly your official store. Just because you call it unofficial, like some Chomskyite, doesn't make you edgy, you absolute Burke. Anyway, he winds me up for reasons we'll get into, but first of all, I wanted to just break down what the BBC is writing about him, because the BBC is, the British deep state and the rest of it, and they absolutely love Banksy, as do all of the political class, which is why, while this is presented with all of the drama, the fine-looking imperial era buildings behind this statue. In reality, like I've said before, London is magnificent to look at, but when you go inside those buildings, you realise that what built those buildings is gone, and what it's been replaced by.
Yeah, definitely gone. Yeah, it looks old world to me. I don't even think he knows that he's seeing that, but yeah, it could be one of the old world buildings here. Absolutely magnificent. We have all the features we know and love here. The pillars, the triangles. It's all there. Now, we don't have a dome, but that could have probably been removed at some point in time, possibly. That has happened to some of these buildings. So, yeah, Banksy and his statues and his drawings, and is he part of the crack? Again, Richard seems to think he's... yeah, I've never really thought about it. He doesn't have enough weight. He does, like as artists go, Banksy has a lot of weight, you know what I mean? But it still doesn't. He doesn't. None of his artistry or his drawings ever cause revolution. You know what I mean? So yeah, apparently that's a statue that appeared on a plinth in Waterloo Place on Wednesday. Now, to get that there and set it up, I think this is where he's coming from. You know what I mean? In central London, to get in there and set that up, and you're gonna need in effect help from not so much help, but to not be arrested. You know what I mean? Asked what you're doing. So yeah, he's a new statue, politician with a flag in his face. Again, it kind of, obviously, it's Keir Starmer probably in it, you know what I mean? And he's right, like, all this globalization, and it's like nationalism and the flag in the face, because they don't really see what's happening, kind of blinded to the shit show that is now Britain, due to fucking bringing in loads of foreigners and all those people who were against it, the nationalistic people. They're blind to the plight, they're blind to the situation, they're blind to... I mean, it's all a plan, you know what I mean? It's all a plan. Keir Starmer is fucking working for the global elite, and that's why he's still Prime Minister, because there's no other explanation as to how this man is still Prime Minister, you know what I mean, really. What's the explanation? Because I've never seen anybody face as many. He's currently got a trial going on for fucking rent boys. He's just been to a scene of a stabbing where everybody fucking booed him. He's been caught fucking employing paedophiles, and he didn't give a fuck and lying about that as well. I mean, and this is in the last week. You know what I mean? This is in the last week. So what the fuck? I mean, how is this man Prime Minister? Well, he works for the global elites, and they don't want rid of him yet. Is the only explanation. Moving on. W for Humanity. Lab-grown meat here. Would you believe it? We're on Dark Waters is the name of the channel. Mentioned it before. Lab-grown meat. Do not be eating lab-grown meat. But again, this is the crack with it. I've mentioned this. You're not allowed meat anymore. Meat will be made expensive. You'll have to eat bugs. But other than if you don't eat bugs, you can eat this lab-grown meat we grew in a lab. I mean, why don't we just have more? There's no logic to this. When we haven't got no animals anymore. You know what I mean? The animals aren't extinct here. We have the animals that we can mate the animals. There's no logic to this really. Oh well, there is to the global elites, but from our perspective, there is no logic to this. But for the global elites, this is real logical because they're fucking gonna depopulate here and save the planet, obviously.
Your fake lab-grown meat elsewhere. We're not doing that in the state of Florida.
That's the message behind the bill Governor DeSantis signed Wednesday. It takes aim at meat grown by scientists in a lab, making it a crime to manufacture or sell cultivated meat in Florida.
What they want to say is this is the same as raising cattle and doing it naturally, then there's no reason that you have this industry. So it is designed to represent a threat to agriculture as we know it.
And supporters say the new law offers protections to Florida's cattle industry.
It's never been more important than today to protect Florida's farmers and ranchers, and that's what this legislation does.
But opponents say concerns about lab-grown meat are overblown. Federal regulators have already said some products are safe and ready to eat after receiving FDA approval last year, a point made by cultivated meat industry members during the legislative session.
Cultivated meat is safe, period. We make our chicken with a safe...
I mean, you can't trust the FDA. They let aspartame into food when... is it Donald Rumsfeld, possibly? I can't remember if it was Rumsfeld or not. Anyway, aspartame wasn't allowed into food, and then I think it was Donald Rumsfeld, once he got into political power and was number 2 to President Bush, he got aspartame pushed through the FDA. And the FDA denied it for a long time because it caused cancers and tumours in rats. That's what basically all diet products in the world use, aspartame, which again shouldn't be in food. It was banned from food, but when somebody got political power, they got it pushed through. So the FDA, the food organ, like the food, I don't know what the actual FDA stands for, but it's like the Department of Food Safety, so to speak. They can't be trusted. They absolutely can't be trusted. They can be swayed politically or by political people. And again, aspartame is in all diet products, and it really, really shouldn't be. So the fact that the FDA says it's all right means fuck all in 2026. And it was probably the FDA who sanctioned Monsanto's Roundup to be used around the world, which again is not a good product. So the FDA can't be trusted.
Process in a safe environment, and USDA inspectors are on site during operations at all times, from beginning to end.
Others have argued this law threatens the free market and is too short-sighted.
By potentially criminalizing cultivated meat, poultry, and seafood, this bill stifles innovation, limits consumer choice and free market principles, and undermines
Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, and I'm back. I'll start this video off by saying this. While everybody's distracted upon all the many different things going on, or we're about to bring ground troops into Iran, and probably will be a disaster, or at least there's a bluff to bring ground troops into Iran. Hopefully it's a bluff. we are facing something that I think everybody should be paying attention to. The double-edged sword of bioengineered meat and the ticks that have been created that will make people allergic to regular meat. So I'm just going to advise you, if you haven't treated your lawn for ticks and your grass for ticks, you should be treating your grass for ticks right now. And I know it sounds crazy and it sounds like it's a conspiracy theory, but when you actually listen to what the globalists have been saying, they tell you what they're going to do. And here's Matthew Lau, a Chinese person at the World Economic Forum, telling you what their plan is to do for you. To make you have meat allergies, and then once you have a meat allergy, to turn around and feed you synthetic meat grown from cancer cells. Sounds like a conspiracy theory. YouTube itself may say, well, Dog Waters, this is a conspiracy theory. We're going to mark it as a conspiracy theory because it's a conspiracy. But I will lay out the evidence for you right now.
People eat too much meat, and if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it. I'm one of those. Turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance. So for example, I have milk intolerance, and some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. You can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering, which possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Stop it right there. I don't want to hear all this beeping. So what he just said was through real world human engineering that we can use the Lone Star tick to biologically humanly engineer you in your body to where you're allergic to meat. Why? Because cows fart, and those cow farts affect the atmosphere. And I know this doesn't make sense. Many of you have heard this, but someone new here may not have heard this. But then we proceed to Bill Gates talking about cows have digestive systems that emit methane. And so because they don't want methane in the environment, because methane will kill, just like carbon dioxide will kill, according.
Yeah, well, this is the lie anyway. I mean, I've mentioned this before as well, like the biggest private owner of cows in the world is King Charles now. So cows have 4 stomachs, so it's 3 or 4 stomachs, so they produce a lot of methane, they fart a lot, they do, this is a true fact. But whether it's ruining the planet, I mean, debatable, but they blame everything for ruining the planet again. Is it Nibiru? You know what I mean? Probably Nibiru. So, yeah, honestly, there is this big plan for you to not eat meat anymore, like there really is. And again, kind of to do without pricing you for meat with the coming economic problems and dynamic pricing and supply and demand. Everybody will want meat, so meat will cost a fortune, so most people won't be able to afford meat. Yeah, they really don't want you to eat meat, and again, whether it's just due to the protein and you're living longer and they want to kill you off, and with like fluoride and chemtrails, and whether that's the plan and just shortening people's lives by poisoning us to death in every way that they possibly can. Again, soft kill, it doesn't kill you instantly, it kills you, it takes decades, maybe 10 years, 20 years off your life in total, maybe 30, depending on what happens, if you get cancer or something, you know what I mean? Ultimately, it shortens your life, but you don't die the next day. You don't even die the next week or the next year. You could die in 15 years' time, and you'll never put it down to the fact that these people poison you to fucking death in every way you can imagine. Because they have been for doing it for quite a long time, and nobody's fucking clicked on yet, you know what I mean? Fluoride is in the water, as well as a lot of other compounds there. Your food is genetically modified and has been for a real long time there. They've been spraying chemtrails in the air for at least 20 to 25 years there. So you've been poisoned to death your entire life already, you know what I mean? Like, but just people, yet again, the zombies, they're fucking stupid and haven't clicked on yet. But yeah, these people have already been poisoning you to death in every way you can possibly imagine. Chocolate's no longer chocolate. They've took the chocolate out of chocolate now. So, yeah, again, lab-grown meat, absolutely. Again, absolutely the plan. Again, honestly, This is the plan of the global elites. They don't want you eating meat. So, Dark Waters, over 500,000 subscribers. If you want to come and watch the video, we've got to keep moving here with the Bagwash news. The general news is lab-grown meat, but if you want to know in more detail what's going on here, come over to Dark Waters. We've got to keep moving. How 3 children carried out deadly attack on man they thought was a paedophile. This is a bit fucking... I think they killed him as well. On ITV News. This was just yesterday, I believe. 14 hours ago, so I don't think the murder was yesterday. I think it was a bit ago, but the trial's possibly been or something. I'll play a bit anyway. Let's have a listen to this.
Here's the moment a man was lured to his death on the Isle of Sheppey last year, pelted with rocks and bottles by 3 teenagers he didn't know. The evidence of their crime, a video that lasts for 31 seconds, posted on social media by one of them, a 16-year-old girl. Today, the judge sentenced the teens, who she referred to as Child O, T and S, to between 5 and 7 years in custody for manslaughter, as the girl, Child S, was heard breaking down in tears during the sentencing.
I'm sure that you'll be given the date of your release very soon after today. And I want to make one further observation, which I hope you will remember. You are all young, and you will still be young when you rejoin society. You did a terrible thing, and you are each paying a price for it. But there is great potential for each of you to live a good and fulfilling life when you are released.
Well, probably not, to be honest. Britain's fucked. World War III, looking downhill here. By the time you come out of prison, the world could have ended, to be honest, the way it's going. The world could have ended. You've absolutely fucked it, to be honest. You've fucked it. Right, anyhow, this man's been murdered. I mean, they said he wasn't a paedophile, right? Like, the whole reasoning behind it was that they thought he was a paedophile. Now, they say he's not, but he's exchanging numbers here with like a 16-year-old girl, and he's 40 odd or something here, so hold on, I'll play it.
9-year-old Alexander Cashford's fate was sealed when he had a chance encounter with a 16-year-old girl at an amusement arcade in Laysdown-on-Sea, where they exchanged numbers. Mr. Cashford circled here in blue and the girl circled in purple. The interaction was said to have lasted less than a minute. The group of teenagers, including the boys involved in the attack, soon began messaging Mr. Cashford.
Yeah, but why is he messaging like a 16-year-old girl? I think he said he was 49 there. Did he say he was 49? Hold on.
You are released.
49-year-old Alexander.
49, right. He's older than me. And he's exchanging numbers with a fucking 16-year-old girl here. Now, I know 16-year-old's legal in Britain, as Russell Brand was kind enough to point out to us there. I mean, and Russell Brand was only 30 when he slept with this 16-year-old. But even that's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, it's still a bit weird. It's on the cusp of, like... Well, it's a bit weird, 16 and 30, but, I mean, it's still legal, I suppose, but... It's still in the realms of, like, 49, you know what I mean? 30 is fucking a lot closer than fucking 49 is. So, they say he's not a paedophile, but, I mean, it's 16 and 49, I mean, there's a big fucking gap there, like.
Blue and the girl circled in purple. The interaction was said to have lasted less than a minute. The group of teenagers, including the boys involved in the attack, soon began messaging Mr. Cashford using a fake name, Sienna, believing him to be a paedophile. Over the next 2 days, more than 70 messages were exchanged, some flirtatious. Sienna asked, "What's your plans for tomorrow, babe?" To which Mr. Cashford responded, "You asking me out, lol." The pair then went on to arrange a walk, with Sienna instructing him to bring alcohol with you too. "I love vodka." To that, Mr. Cashford responded, "I'd really like to kiss you," and Sienna replied, "Give me a vodka and I'll be all over you." On Sunday, the 10th of August, Mr. Cashford turned up for that meeting on the seafront, a meeting that would go on to end his life. The detective that...
And there's video that a last filmed of them chasing him, and eventually they must have battered him to death. But, I mean, obviously not justified killing the fella, and she was legal at 16 is the line that Russell Brand will sell you there. But 49 and 16, I mean, like, it's fucking, well, it's on borderline, isn't it? You know what I mean? And ultimately, the 16 could be 15, could be 14. So saying he wasn't a paedophile, for me anyway. Yeah, I mean, true in the sense of the word, but and the situation, but he's verging into the elements of being young. Fucking trying to meet up with 16-year-old girls when he's 49. Again, that can dip lower. You know what I mean? And how do you tell the difference between a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old in reality? Because you know what I mean. So, but he was murdered anyhow for his trouble. So, well, God'll know. God'll know. You know what I mean. Not for me to. It's not for me to judge, but I just think that again. I don't know about the rest of you, but 16 to 49. Again, I'm 45, and I wouldn't fucking dream of fucking trying to date a 16-year-old. I mean, for the simple reason as well. Like there's no like I'm 45 and I've got 45 years of experience in the world and like learning loads of stuff and knowing stuff, which I kind of like to talk about now and again. You know what I mean? I don't just want to talk about football. So like 16-year-olds don't know fuck all when you're 49. What are you going to talk about? You know what I mean? Like it just shows in a way like you're only really wanting them for sex. Again, I want to kiss you. So he must know what she looked like and must have thought it was that girl from the arcade. So yeah, you've got nothing in common. Like you're too far apart in where you are in your lives. Do you know what I mean? Like you're very much in a different place when you're fucking 16 to where you are when you're fucking 49. In fact, when you're 49, you've lived about 3 lifetimes in you know what I mean? So yeah, they say he wasn't a paedophile, but I mean, I think that's maybe up for debate. Moving on. You won't believe this. You probably will. Modernity, Paul Joseph Watson, other channel here. Let's see what's happening.
Seen levels of pathological altruism. So a terrorist stabbed 2 people in London. Police body cam footage showed officers tasering the perpetrator.
Down on the ground! Down on the ground! Step back! Take the taser! Jacket! Take the taser!
Before desperately trying to wrestle the knife out of his hand.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Keep it to tape! Drop the knife! Keep it to tape! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Keep it to... Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Yeah, I'll got it!
But it was this clip, shot by a bystander, that went viral and sparked one of the dumbest controversies ever.
In the clip, at least 2 cops can be seen kicking him in the head as they tried to wrestle the knife away from him during a scuffle.
Right, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's long story short on this one, absolutely justified.
An insane jihadist who's just stabbed 2 people on the street, still armed with a knife, and in that moment, God knows what else, gets a few boots to the face as police rightly try to prevent him from being a threat to anyone else. End of story. You'd think police pray.
Yeah, absolutely. End of story. Like that is the crack. Again, we'll play a little bit more, but that's the end of the story. Absolutely justified. Stabbed 2 people. Could have had a bomb. Fuck knows. The officers could have been in danger themselves if he'd had a fucking bomb of some kind. But they were still there because they've got to fucking take him down. Absolutely justified. No questions asked. No qualms against the coppers for kicking him in the head. At the end of the day, he was a violent criminal who fucking stabbed people. You know what I mean? Fucking end of. But let's hear what the left have to say about it.
For taking him down as quickly as they could. No. Numerous prominent leftists responded by expressing sympathy for the terrorists and attacking the cops for engaging in police brutality. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. We've seen the video and it's horrific. You mean the video of the terrorist stabbing people? Kicking a man in the head repeatedly with heavy boots when he's face down on the ground and disarmed looks less like courage and more like out-of-control violence.
He had a knife in his hand. You'd have seen it in the video, you stupid bitch. Who's this Susan Evans? Like, I mean, honestly, you just... I don't know if you're allowed to say it, but you hope that the next time this happens, it's Susan Evans on the end of the fucking on the end of the implement there, then she might fucking she might stop talking shit. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you might stop talking shit if it's you getting fucking stabbed to death there, love. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, absolutely justified. He had a fucking knife, he could have had a bomb, he's fucking stabbing people, they are the police, they need to take him down by whatever means necessary, reasonable force. They didn't kick him that hard. He could have fucking knocked him out, and they didn't. They give him a little tap in a way. It was fairly heavy, but it wasn't a boot. Again, you could have fucking took his head clean off his fucking shoulders if you'd wanted to, but they didn't. They give him a couple of taps, put the fucking knife down. So, I mean, it's the left all over, isn't it? You know what I mean? Again, you'll all be beheaded first when the Muslims take over. You do realise that. They will behead you first. So, I look forward to it. I absolutely look forward to that. So, Susan Evans, fuck you.
More like out-of-control violence. Ah, yes. Will someone think of the... Checks notes, violent, stabby Islamic terrorist. He's not disarmed, is he? He's still got the knife.
Drop the knife!
But don't. Bad as what he did was abhorrent, actually. Police absolutely cannot do this. Well, under the law, yes, they can. This is outrageous. The guy is clearly incapacitated on the ground, having rightfully and thankfully been tased, yet 2 police officers are repeatedly kicking him in.
Fuck off, John Wright. And John Wright's a cunt.
The head? Yeah, good. What were they supposed to do? Try and politely put the cuffs on while he's still wielding a 10-inch blade? Contemptible abuse of police power. Why kick him in the head several times when he's already tasered and in your control?
Fuck off, Dr. Shola Mosh, somewhere in foreign.
Should he not be alive to be brought to justice in a court of law? He's literally resisting arrest, refusing to show his hands while concealing a massive deadly weapon. He's not in their control. Or maybe they should have just apologetically read him his rights before feebly requesting that he come to the station with them. Deep down, what is wrong with these people? It goes on.
They're all fucking morons. We've been through this. The left, they're fucking stupid. I mean, the proof of it every day. Like, there is proof that the left are fucking stupid every single day. Yeah, fucking... We'll move on. Enjoy hell, the left. There, we had scenes of it earlier in the video there. Enjoy that. Moving on. Yeah, ridiculous, really. I mean, absolutely ridiculous that... I mean, these people are stupid, you know what I mean? That's all you can say. These people are stupid. So, Michael Jackson allegations are so disturbing. So, True Geordie here, video's 50 minutes long. I'm about 33 minutes, 32 seconds, nearly all the threes. I've kind of changed my mind, to be honest. I'm just going to mention this, because I made a video there and we thought maybe Michael Jackson wasn't a paedophile and he could have been innocent, and I've watched 33 minutes of this, and he puts a good story forward, to be honest. Again, he never really was with any women, he getting a married lasso, and like, honestly, if you want to come and watch it, True Geordie, the Michael Jackson allegations are so disturbing. So yeah, it's honestly, like, I think he probably could have been a paedophile, to be honest, after watching that. Again, you kind of hope because of your childhood and hope for the best and all this, but there's a lot in this as well that's like, you're like, again, you've got to be level-headed here. You can't be siding with somebody because they're famous and you liked them as a child, and a lot of the stuff he says in here, well, come and watch it. Again, come and watch it. True Geordie, the Michael Jackson allegations are so disturbing. So I think I've kind of changed my mind on that, and he probably was a paedophile after listening to a lot of that, to be honest. And I'm only 33 minutes in. There was another 15 minutes to go on it. So, yeah, well, come and watch it if you want. Moving on. Woke bar steward refuses to reform. So this is doing the rounds. Again, somebody in Wetherspoons here, refusing to serve somebody because they're reform. I mean, how it goes is, the management reserve the right to refuse, is the crack. You can refuse anybody at any time for any reason you see fit. The management sees fit, unfortunately. There's nothing the police can do about it, or the government. And yeah, it's kind of up to the person who's serving you. But again, that young lad there, he was manager apparently, but whoever's got the personal alcohol license and the name is above the door on the license, they primarily have the say, but the staff still can refuse. Yeah, and for any reason, the management reserves the right to refuse. So there's not a lot you can do about it, to be honest. Again, I think it's a bad sign for the future. Not getting served because of your political stance, depending on who's in where and what. And I think it's bad with all the foreign shops. Again, the Muslim takeover here. There'll only be foreign shops left. Probably won't serve us fucking anymore. Won't even be able to buy stuff in our own country anymore. So yeah, that's the cracker. Fucking Guy in Witherspoons. As I won't play this if you want to go and watch it on an ex-British Army Paz here, and plenty of other people have covered it. But yeah, just wouldn't serve them because they were reform. After it was reforms. Well, yeah, reform. Well, yeah, that's Nigel Farage. So fair dues. You fucked up. Get on the Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe. So you did. Yeah, bad crack, but unfortunately the management reserves the right to refuse, and they can refuse anybody at any time for any reason. So, yeah, but I mean, you could have just said to the guy behind the bar, "Do you live here?" And then when he didn't know what you mean, and when he went, "What?" The guy, "Do you live here?" And he'll go, "No," and go, "Exactly." Like, and you just put thing in fucking. You don't work in here all the time, mate. Moving on. Would you believe it? The SNP complains about not having enough migrants. I mean, fuck me. Would you believe it? Let's hear this.
Too few migrants are coming to Scotland, and that migration is good and necessary for the economy. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It literally doesn't have to be. I mean, I think having someone come over here just so that they can take up a free house and get benefits, I don't see how that benefits the economy in any way. In fact, it's been proven over and over that these migrants are actually a drain on the system. Right, a lot of them, and even when they do get jobs, they open up private companies where they don't pay any taxes, and then they don't pay business rates, and then when the companies, whenever it's coming time of you have to pay this, they sell the company to a family member, at which point that person is allowed to ask for a stay on payments from the council in regards to tax it to HMRC and to the council for business rates, and then they wait a year, and then what they do is they sell the company again to another person, and blah, 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 they just continue the cycle over and over. They actually take it. Basically, they're complete fucking idiots when they're in court, or like with the police going, "I don't understand age of consent laws. I know I need an interpreter." Blah 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 blah. Oh, but when it comes to scamming the system, these cunts are fucking clairvoyants. No, that's when the big IQ starts to come in when it comes to scamming the system, but not so much on other things like not raping children. Right? It's you know, it's kind of funny how that works, right? But anyway, where was I? She was speaking on BBC Scotland's The Sunday Show as part of a Holyrood election debate on immigration with representatives from 6 political parties. But Reform's Thomas Kerr said immigration had pushed the system to breaking point with other parties were split on the issue. Now, that's the thing is, I've been saying this for a long time. Whenever people come over here, they have to claim asylum, which means they have to go to the courts, they have to get a lawyer appointed to them, probably have to get an interpreter, and then it has to have a day in court with the jury, a judge, and all the court staff and everything, and every single one of those things has to be paid for, right? And they get that through legal aid and they get that through welfare, right? So that is an enormous amount right out the gate before the guy's even allowed to stay in the country, right? That is an enormous amount being cost to the taxpayer, and that is for each one that applies for asylum. And then they might get it rejected, and then they get to appeal it, and we get to double dip and pay all that money all over again for the appeal. Right, as well, that entire time they have to be kept in like a holding centre, or most of the time they're kept in a posh fancy hotel, and we are paying for all of that as well. We're paying for all the hotels, we're paying for all their food in the hotels, we're paying for clothing, we're paying for fucking swimming lessons and all that shit. This is all the stuff that has to be paid for with taxes before we've even made the decision of whether or not this motherfucker's going to get to stay in the country.
Yeah, fucking absolutely economic bagwash, robbed blind, spent into an oblivion. Mentioned all this. Count Dracula 2, Electrical Boogaloo is the name of the channel. Good. I like his vibe there. I'm subscribed and like the video. I thought I was, unless he's got 2 channels. So again, it's Count Dracula 2, possibly. I've seen the guy before. Again, the Scotch and the Irish, they're right up there, you know what I mean? They're right up there with the best we've got. So, and the funniest, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I'd be raging if I was Scottish. I'd be fucking raging. Like, this, we need more immigration. We fucking don't. Um, we like, you know what I mean? We fucking don't here. We don't. We really, really don't. The country's fucked. Full of foreigners. Fucking half the country don't recognise it anymore. Ruined. Bagwash. Everything with a B. Everything with a B has been ruined by the Muslims. What's holding back white working class in Grimsby? Probably the Muslims. Yeah, so I'd be fucking raging if I was Scottish. We need more immigration. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, we're fucking Glasgow and Edinburgh's fucked here. You know what I mean? The two cities we had, they're gone. They're finished. With like England here, all the cities are ruined. And eventually it trickles down, then all your towns will be ruined, and then they'll work their way down to the fucking villages, you know what I mean? That's what's coming. That's what's coming. So, if you want to come watch the rest of the video, it's on for 27 minutes. Count Dracula 2, Electrical Boogaloo. Again, good crack, you know what I mean? We just haven't got time in the Bagwash News here to stick around, but I'd like to hear more. But we'll keep an eye on the channel. Moving on. We've got to Carl Vernon, the massive regular here. He absolutely knows the Bagwash we are all fucking facing daily, every day of the week. Digital ID will be forced on you. Would you believe it? We knew this anyway. Again, it's all part of the plan. Emergency powers. 3 million people signed a fucking petition against it, including myself. Didn't give a fuck. Just ignored it. Said they put it on the back burner, exactly, and yeah, it's all come in with emergency powers, I'm telling you, absolutely all part of locking us down, control system network of doom.
The Cabinet Office just released this video on digital IDs. Have your say.
Listen up, UK! Shopping, banking, dating, it's all online.
So why is it such a faff when you have something important to do?
The government are introducing a new digital ID to cut the admin.
And now we need your voice to make it work for you. Have your say.
Have your say. Have your say.
Have your say on digital ID.
Just search digital ID consultation to find out more.
Yeah, have your say. We already did. I don't know if you remember, but not that long ago, nearly 3 million people signed a petition to say no thank you very much. Remember that one? No? Kind of just swept under the carpet, that one. Yeah, because that's the new democracy. I think democracy's always been like this, to be fair. But the idea is, it's like when voting on lots of other things, like banning under 16-year-olds social media and bits like that. We'll have votes, right? We'll do the vote. And then we'll wait until we get the right result. Yeah. And if we don't, we'll still go ahead and do whatever we want anyway. And
yeah, honestly, again, there's no way on earth that, again, Tony Blair mentioned this fucking like 30 years ago. There's no way that digital ID is not part of the plan. It's the only way it works, to be honest. It's the only way it works. So yeah, it will be forced upon you. Again, emergency powers, it'll just be brought in. I've predicted that for over a year, and you can very much see it coming. Again, they're not going to give up on this digital ID, even the fact that 3 fucking million of us said we didn't fucking want it there. Yeah, because this is the agenda, this is the plan, and this is what'll happen. So, again, have your say. Well, we did, and we told you to fuck off, but you didn't listen. So, well, we'll go again, shall we? Moving on. Starmer booed on arrival at Golders Green. So I kind of mentioned this, but we'll play it just because we don't like Keir Starmer. Look at him pulling it into here where it's all protected from the public. Look, all the public have been kept back behind the gates. Pulled straight into the compound where everybody's got to be respectful because they're meeting the Prime Minister and they're all in an official capacity doing some job or the ambulance, or you know what I mean. So we all have to be respectful, but everybody knows this man's a fucking arsehole. And he's kept away from the public after what happened at Southport and everything since, because everybody hates him. And the reality is, as I said before, he shouldn't be Prime Minister, to be honest. He absolutely shouldn't be Prime Minister at this point. But the fact that he is proves ultimately that he's the man for the job to fuck us all down the line here till the end of eternity. I'm scared moving back over to Australia here with Isaac Butterfield. Again, we're all facing the same bagwash, no matter where you are. Well, not quite all the same bagwash. Australia and England are facing similar bagwash. America is going to face a very different kind of bagwash, it would seem. Probably a lot worse. But we'll go and let's have a look at what's happening in Australia.
Australia is looking at passing laws where you could be arrested, held without charge, even if you aren't suspected of committing a crime. You could be targeted because of who you know. You could be brought in, locked up from whatever you're doing, taken off the street for up to 24 hours. You are not able to refuse to answer a question. No comment doesn't exist, and if you do use that and withhold useful information, you could face up to 5 years in jail. The government also controls how and when and if you get contact with your lawyer. This is the draconian measures that are being voted on right now in Australia. But before we get into it, I want to just take a quick little trip down memory lane to something somebody said. In 2003, a young Labor MP stood in front of Parliament and said something quite profound. He quoted a German war criminal who you may know by the name of Hermann Göring. Basically, he was Adolf's right-hand man. And he said that the best way to control the population is to tell them that they are under attack and denounce anyone who pushes back.
Foodies, gourmet revelation.
As a cat. Tell anybody that pushes back is a cat. And that really showed them there, to be honest. They'll never fuck with you again. Look at the nice little cat here. I'd just love to be a cat, to be honest. I mean, you don't have to worry about any of this shit. Look at it. Look at the cat. Just fucking happy being a cat. Look at this. What's this? Don't eat it, cat. It'll be poison. We've been through this. Don't do it, cat. Oh, Jesus God, he won't listen again. You're poisoning your cat with this tripe here, woman. Get him some meat. Right. Fuck me, now I'm going to buy a hose, for fuck's sake. 49 quid for a nose hosel. Fucking nose hosel. Fucking, I can't say it. A hose nozzle. Oh, this works quite well here. Cleans the patio. Right. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Germans, Goering, fucking Nazis again. The people behind the Nazis are the people behind all this. You know what I mean? The Nazis didn't die. We blew the shit out of Germany, and the Nazis went underground. And the Nazis are all these fucking rich bastards who fucking funded the Nazis. The Rothschilds, they funded the Nazis. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we've been screwed to the ends of the earth here, and the general public aren't clever enough to figure it out. It's kind of what's happening. Play a bit more. But real bagwash here in Australia. Did you hear all that? Fucking absolute detention here. Again, this is it. Lockdown, control. You'll do as you're fucking told. You will do as you are told, or you will not fucking be all you won't be here. You won't play ball in society. Yeah, like you will play ball because these people fucking said so.
That young man in 2003 used that quote to argue against these laws that are being passed down now. And guess, can anybody guess who that young man was, that young member of parliament? Anyone? Well, it was the current Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. He said how dangerous laws like this could be, and yet his government is looking at passing them within the next couple of weeks. He called...
Yeah, because you've got two options here, mate. You were either lied to all the way down the line, which is a very strong possibility, or this man, over those 20 years, has been gotten into the fold, blackmailed, and ultimately he started out with the best intentions, but you're in the devil's world here, mate. So, yeah, again, you have either been sold down the river from the very word go, or sold down the river later on down the line there, but ultimately you've been sold down the river for the global elites and their global plan and the global agenda of the New World Order, complete control, and you fucking, you heard it all there, like, if you do not play ball, you're fucked, right? That's the bit, pretty much the crack here. If you do not play ball, you're fucked. So, yeah, Australia there, ultimate bagwash coming down upon Australia. Boom, massive explosion here. We need the quality if we're going to watch explosions, I suppose. Massive explosions, southern Lebanon, near Israeli border. It is indeed a big one. It is indeed. Oh, and there's another fucker to the left. Not quite as big, but still big. I mean, the beauty of this is, as well, as we've discovered, is this Israel isn't the Israel of the Bible. Israel was never there. You know what I mean? It was never there. So, yeah, we're all fighting of an out, really. That's the beauty of it. Absolute deception to the highest levels here. We're all kind of fighting of an out. So, yeah, big explosions, Lebanon there, Israel blowing the shit out of people yet again. General war, we've got more war. With the quality back in here for the explosions. Flaming oil spills into Russian streets after massive oil refinery striking to past summit in Russian. The summer of fire off to a roaring start, as we've mentioned there. Fire everywhere we look. Ukraine, Iran, you name it, there's fire. So, general war in it. The fog of war. Here's a drone coming in on a tank. Boom. So, yeah, it's war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Well, let's have World War III. Why don't we? So, yeah, again, the scenes, and again, oil refinery gone up here. More problems with the oil down the line there. So, yeah, that's the news. Moving on.
Hannah Spencer of the Green
is a dick. Yeah, is that right? I mean, this could be about the drinking thing. I don't know. I mean, she's got a point with that. I've already mentioned it. You know what I mean? Like, that these people shouldn't be getting pissed up making decisions. And how come we're not allowed to drink at work and these fuckers are, and these are allowed to smoke in their pub and we're not? You know what I mean? One rule for us and fuck another rule for these wankers. So fuck them. You know what I mean? Well, it's maybe not even about that, but oh shit, we'll have a listen.
Hannah Spencer of the Green Party recently spoke about alcohol and MPs having a before.
Yeah, it is about that. So I'm not playing it because we've mentioned it. I mean, she's right, but as well, like the backlash from the politicians who all drink and smoke probably could be catastrophic for her political career here. So that's kind of what I'm watching, just the backlash from all the other politicians who try and stop them drinking and smoking. So we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, but I don't disagree with the woman. That, again, as I said there, why the fuck are they allowed to drink at work? Look at the size of this fucking spider. I've been watching some other stuff about bigger spiders in like the Amazon or something, man. Fucking miles bigger than this. Human size eating spiders. Got a name. I can't remember the name of the spider now. It's fucking the Madrid Bowie or something like this. Here, what's this? Chilling footage shows Chico walking Rhode Island streets in KKK robe. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Look at the size of this fucking spider. It's got a big fucking rat in it with its mouth. It's fucking massive, like. But there's bigger spiders than this. But this is a tarantula. It's fucking huge. You can see. Like a tarantula there. Fucking massive. Again, but these spiders in the Amazon I'm talking about are fucking much bigger than this. And have been known to fucking do humans, or there's tales of it. CNN was the channel, so absolutely massive fucking tarantula there. Yeah, fuck that. Moving on. Crowd loses it after trans athlete dominates women's competition yet again. So, yeah, this is why men and women shouldn't be in the same sports. Men are faster and stronger than women, as proved by all the Olympic records ever. On the channel Daily Dose of Sanity, mentioned it before. So, yeah, again, here we go. Is the male athlete fucking burning off all the female athletes because he's faster and stronger than they are, because he's ultimately male and about 6 foot odd as well, so he's got long legs. He just decided to grow his hair long. That's about the extent of it here. He's grew his hair long, so that makes him a woman now, apparently. Yeah, a lot of bollocks. Don't let men in women's sports. Fuck the transvestites. Moving on. £5 gas is back. It's about to get much worse. Here's why. So the petrol, and all the refineries going up here. We're on Melanie King. Yeah, Bagwash on the petrol. Warning, petrol shortages, food shortages, stock up on stuff. What do we need to say out here? What do we need to say? Put back the start here. Let's hear a bit of Melanie. What's going down?
I just want to let you know that diesel is up 45%. 45%. 75% of what we use and consume in the United States goes on a truck that uses diesel. In addition, farmers use diesel to move all that large equipment, to plant crops, to pick them. Get ready for skyrocketing prices for everything: food, toiletries, diapers, baby formula, shoes, car parts, every single thing. 75% of what we use and consume is going to skyrocket. When this happened 4 years ago, inflation went up to 9%. Not only will gas not go back down for years, prices on food and toiletries, etc., will also not go down, as we all know.
So yeah, gas prices are going to explode. This is what we've all known, what we've been talking about. But yesterday, there seemed to be a really sharp turn. This post is from yesterday. I haven't even checked it for today. It says the barrel price of Brent crude oil hit 120 today. Now, there's a lot that goes into it. The cost that the market says versus what people are paying for it, but it's actually higher what they're actually paying. But this is for the market, right? And if you may have noticed, yesterday there was a huge spike at the pump. Some people saw 2 in a row. I kid you not, this is what's going on around the country. Now, remember, and let me move this over so you can see the whole thing. Remember, promises made, promises kept. Gas prices are at their lowest average in nearly 5 years, $2.79 a gallon. This was in January that the White House put out. Lowest national average in nearly 5 years. Well, this just came out. And let me shrink this whole thing. I don't know why it's so big on the screen. And the other one wasn't, but it says breaking: the average price for a gallon of gas in the U.S. rises to $4.23, the highest since 2022. So this is a map to show you like general where the pricing is headed. I'm surprised New York and New England isn't bright red. No surprise about DC, but the bright red, you're paying about $6 really, $5.98 to $4.32. In the white area, you're paying $4.19 to $4.05. Actually, let me skip to this one. In the kind of the pink, I guess I'll call it the light red, $4.32 to $4.19. In the white, $4.19 to $4.06. In the light blue, $4.06 as well to $3.84. And then in the dark blue, it's
Boom, and just general bagwash again. The oil refinery still going up there, and not even fucking half. Some of them in Australia, etc. Food price, everything she said, we've said it all. You know what I mean? Stock up, because it's not just about shortages; it's about prices. And yeah, the general Bagwash. Honestly, like, it's kind of coming down the road here. The fact that it isn't here now doesn't mean that it isn't coming. You know what I mean? So yeah, the general Bagwash. I'll maybe kind of leave it there. I'll have a quick look, see if there's anything else on the cards. I'll just end on this. Rotten politics. Be careful paying for stuff.
Be careful when you pay with your card.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Whether that be with the beep or that be with the keypad. Now this was in America, but the technology is available everywhere and can be used everywhere. Look at how worrying this video is.
What are you saying?
It's a double key. Why is it two keypads?
Keypads where? That's not two keypads.
It's another one under there.
No, there's not.
I'm telling you, that's another keypad under there.
That is not another keypad under there.
What's under there then?
That's not a double keypad.
Yeah, that's only one keypad.
That's one keypad.
I'm telling you, when I put my card in and I pulled it out, it's another keypad
There's
under there.
not two keypads.
What's that right there then?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all right there.
Nah. I got my metal recording there. I'm about to call the cops and report that. Yeah. Yeah. That's when I put my card in there, she said it was my wrong pin. I locked my card. So yeah. Yeah, I pulled it. Yeah, he just grabbed the other one. And my glasses got it too. Yep.
Now first off, I'd like to say well spotted by that lady. Well spotted. This is why I've always thought and always believed cash is king. So much so that if I walk into an establishment that won't take cash, they don't get me custom. It's as simple as that. Now obviously, cash machines are just as bad, but I always check them before I put my card anywhere near them. And I don't care if people behind me are miffed at how long it takes. And this is the reason why. My paranoia is confirmed whenever I watch things like this. But let me know what you think. I'd like to know your opinion.
Yeah, scams on the cards again, and the plan to get rid of cash as well with the whole digital system again. Can all be hacked and fucking, you know what I mean? Bagwash. And again, when you get hacked and your fucking bank fucked over, the world doesn't care. You're just in the strife here. You can't go into the bank and tell anybody about it because there's no fucking banks anymore. So, just a general future of shit coming down the road here for everybody except the global elites is pretty much the way of it. Pretty much the way of it. We'll leave it there. Peace.